Hi again. It's been about a month or so since my last video. I thought maybe we'd do a catch-up. Oh, in case you're new to my channel, I'm Julie, the illustrator of my small art business, Julep and Trubbs Studio. In this video, I'll go over how I spent February preparing for a pop-up market. The weather was expected here on the Atlantic coast of Canada. Chilly, snowy, and gusty. But I managed to keep myself busy by accepting an invitation to a charity pop-up market at a local cat cafe bookstore. They offered me a free table to sell my products. After I said yes and hit the send button on the email, two terrifying realities set in. Number one, this introvert was going to be selling my products face-to-face in public. And number two, I only have greeting cards in stock. How on earth was I ever going to fill a table? The event has already passed, and I failed to record the process because I just had to keep producing to make the deadline. But in this video, I will recreate the setup and show you the products that I came up with. The provided table was going to be a small card table, so about 86 centimeters or 34 inches wide. My partner Jeff found this woven gray blanket as a tablecloth that is neutral enough to go with a variety of color schemes and is still cozy enough to make it inviting. Here, I'm assembling some greeting card display shelves I ordered from Amazon. They're light enough to carry around, and I love the natural wood material. These are great because they flatten out for storage, and if I get the courage enough to do another market, I can easily reuse them. Because I'm still in the early stages of my business, I had to keep a small budget by reusing what I already have around home. These plate racks I had to pull out of storage. They'd be nice to keep things upright for better visibility. This small crate I got from a DIY arts and crafts studio called Four Cats that closed shop when we lived out in Vancouver. I chose to display greeting cards that would reflect the location and the event. Since it was a cat cafe bookstore for a Galentine's event, I wanted to bring out all my cute cat cards, as well as my love and friendship cards. So that one is a happy new home, and the other is a sentiment card that could be used as a Valentine, you're so sweet. Could also be a thank you card or just because card. And of course my favorite Asian food themed cards. You don't know how much I love you. And you and me were on a roll, which is chocolate and matcha, or maybe even a pistachio roll cake. And we'd make a great matcha and love you so much card. I had so much fun illustrating those cards. And just as exciting are these, which are my new magnetic bookmarks. Because I had 1 week, I had to reuse and rework illustrations I had from my 2025 calendar designs, as well as the designs that were not chosen for the Hawthorne Supply art call that I submitted, and I talked about in my last video. The books are appropriately from the February page. They're reworked with some cute kitties, and the only really new thing was the back design. I thought it'd be really nice to have that feature. The next set uses the designs I made for the flower market collection. I focused on the cats that I illustrated in the hero pattern, and the back I used the blenders. Some of the cats are also on the bookshelf kitty series on the top shelf. I was pretty gutted that my designs were not chosen, since I worked really hard on them. However, I saw the designs that Hawthorne did choose, and they were absolutely gorgeous. They were completely above what I had to offer, so no doubt. But still, having a fabric collection is still something for me to work towards. In the end, I'm glad I have this collection because it gave me designs to make this new product. And in this case, they turned out so cute, better than anything that I could have imagined. Oh, and these ones, Jeff and I call the Teacup Kitty series. The teacups are also from the February page, and I made the back design based on the floral on the teacup. I realized the shelf drop doesn't quite show the bookmarks well, so here I'm adding a piece of foam to rise them up a bit. I didn't add any foam to the bottom shelf because the front of it already had a clear acrylic. The crate was the perfect size and width to hold all 3 sticker sheets, but I added a piece of card to hold them more upright. And the cardstock and an additional backboard behind it also helped to keep them from slumping. I managed to sew up some more tea towels from yardage I ordered from a Canadian fabric printer. When folded up, they worked well in the plate rack. This is a pant hanger I use to display my kitty quilt block that I hang in my office. I figured it'd be beneficial to show the tea towel in full design, and people could feel the cotton and see the sewn edges. These are the same tea towels from my previous video showing how to sew mitered corners. Over my desk, I have a grid rack hanging where I tack up my inspiration board for products I'd love to see my art on and places where I'd love to visit or live. I have a matching one that I took out of storage, thinking it'd be perfect as a vertical display, but I had to figure out a way to keep it upright. Jeff came up with a genius solution. He found these shelf brackets from IKEA. A pair of them could be stands to hold them upright, using zip ties to keep them attached, but still collapsible. I'll attach an image here of what it was from IKEA that we bought. There are actually 2 sizes available, and this is the smaller one. And here's what it looks like from behind so far. I think it's the perfect size and the design for this market, since the table is on the smaller size. It took a bit of fiddling around to get the hook out of view, but I think it worked out pretty nicely. Most people who do markets advise you to ask for newsletter signups. I know this is important in business marketing, and for 2025, I want to do better at that. This is a faux chalkboard sign that has a wipeable marker I bought at Michael's, and I'll remind anyone in Canada or the US to use a coupon code. There's always some kind of coupon code on the Michael's website. It's always nice to offer something to people in order to gain their email, so I decided to gift a vinyl sticker. Instead of a long sign-up sheet where everyone can see who signed up previously, I came up with some slips of paper so people could fill out their name and email for more privacy. Also, I thought it'd be nice to see what types of things people would like to see in my newsletter. They could opt in for shop updates, downloadable freebies, or marketing and discounts. I almost forgot the pen. Also at Michael's, there are these chalkboard labels. I used them to note the pricing for the different things I was carrying. I didn't want to label everything individually. Pricing was kept simply. To keep the numbers flat, I included the tax. I keep forgetting Nova Scotia has only one harmonized tax at 15%, whereas in British Columbia, they have 2 taxes, goods and services GST at 5%, as well as a provincial PST tax at 7%. So really, I guess I could have kept it simple, just saying HST included. So now it's just a matter of attaching each of the signage to the individual units. And for that, I just used repositional tape and just attached it to the back. I'm basically trying to reuse any materials instead of discarding them. Aside from sticker sheets, I made vinyl die-cut stickers in a matte finish. They're illustrations I already had. I just had to print and cut them from home. Initially, they were to be laid out in these white boxes, but because there's not much real estate left on the table, I had to opt in for a more vertical display. This picture frame is 11 by 17 inches. It had enough room to display all the stickers I designed, and if I added temporary tape to the back of the stickers with a number to denote each of them, I could display just one. And if a customer wanted a design, they could just let me know, and I could easily get one in a little box of inventory that I kept behind the shelving. The frame isn't equipped with a bracket behind it, so I had to figure out how to keep it upright standing. Jeff suggested using one of our tablet stands, which turned out to be the perfect solution. This was the last piece of the puzzle in terms of product and display. I think for my first market, it turned out really cute, and I love the natural wood accents. Here I'm adding a couple of accessories. These are some faux greenery we have around the house. It's nice to add some organic elements to a display. Oh, I already forgot. I needed a big sign with my business name. I had plans to sew a banner, but I ran out of time. We have these wool placemats that we weren't using. So for a quick signage, I printed out Julep and Trubbs onto sticker paper and I fixed it onto the placemat. I used my quilting clips to attach it to the grid rack. It was a bit finicky to keep this placemat signage in place, but it got there in the end. What I really wanted to sew was a banner or some kind of bunting, but that will eventually come. Even if I don't do another market, I'd love to hang it over the door of my office studio. And that's basically what my display at the pop-up market looked like. Later on, I will post some footage of the table at the event. And in case if you're wondering, this is the box of stock I kept on hand behind the grid rack. I kept some extra magnets, stickers, bags, and some tape if I needed it. One thing the box does not have is cash, in case I needed to make change if someone were to make a purchase with physical money. Instead, I took payments via a Square reader. It was a bit of an expense, but to me it was a great investment. I'm almost inclined to do another market just so I could use this again. Here in the Square reader, I had set up some categories: cards, magnetic bookmarks, stickers, sticker sheets, and tea towels. And all the individual items for sale, I named them and put them under the corresponding category along with its price. A very helpful feature with the Square app is that it shows you a list of transactions, what you sold, the totals, and the time that they occurred. So here you can see I had a rush of sales between 6:30 and then shortly after 7 p.m. And this is not including the 2 transactions that were made in cash. For those ones, I ended up taking photos of the items just so that I could make sure that at the end of the night, my inventory was correct. After the night was over, I could see what sold. And in this case, my bookmarks and greeting cards went over very well. And in conversations with customers, most of them were gifts for other people. They would say things like, "It's going to be a gift, so he's not a sticker guy. I'll get the card instead." Oh, and one thing that didn't make it to the table was this frame that had my QR codes for my social links. Maybe I could use it for another market instead. I'll add in some actual footage of the event, and for me it turned out to be a perfect first market. It was only an hour and a half, and there was no table fee, and it was set in this ever so charming cat cafe bookstore. And here's my final table set up in the shop. I didn't really get a chance to play with the cats, but it was really great that the charity event was for the spay program and rehousing of cats. And my table was set next to a book rack that had the appropriate assortment of books. If I ever get an invitation to join this market again, I will definitely accept. For me, it turned out to be a perfect first market. I couldn't have asked for a better one. Well, thank you for sticking around to the end and listening to this, shall I say, eclectic soundtrack of royalty-free music. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed my journey of my first market. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.